Hello, and welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living, Santa Rosa's weekly virtual service, where we are inspired by a global vision that works for everyone. I am Angela Glasser, a prayer practitioner here at the Center. If this is your first time with us, we are so grateful that you are here. If you would like to find out more about our center, the groups and the classes and the spiritual support, please visit our website at www.cslsr.org. For those of you who have become regulars in this virtual format, thank you. Your presence is what creates our spiritual community. And now, I invite you to get comfortable, to take a deep breath, and center yourself as you listen to the music, the prayer, and the message from our senior minister, Edward Viljoen. I know that somewhere in this service is exactly what your heart seeks for the next step in your spiritual journey. Welcome.
I will leave this world as it is, go inside to find my God. I will leave this world as it is, go inside to find my God. Inside there is peace, inside there is joy, inside there is more than enough. Inside there is peace, inside there is joy, inside there is sacred love. I will leave this day as it is, go inside to find day as it is, go inside to find my God. Inside there is peace, inside there is joy, inside there is more than enough. Inside there is peace, inside there is joy, inside there is sacred love. I will leave this life as it is, go inside to find my God. I will leave this life as it is, go inside to find my God. Go inside to find my God. Go inside to find my God.
There is only one life, everywhere present. In all things, as all things, it is the totality of everything known and well beyond. It is evident in nature, in the changing of the seasons, the slanting of the sun. This intelligent design is so creative and so intelligent that it has birthed universes, spins this beautiful blue planet, creating day to night and night to day, pulls the tides. It is evident in two-leggeds and four-leggeds, and in the loving kindness that each one displays to another. This awesome, magnificent essence of life is everywhere to be found, and its power and presence guides and unites everything. I am one with this source of all that is. It resides right at the center of my being, in a place that's never been harmed, never been hurt. And it is the guiding light. And I speak my word now, claiming for this service unity and hope and an openness and willingness to loving kindness, to further unite us, to keep our hearts open and our minds ready to work with one another. And in the music and the message and the truth that we hear today, I affirm that it does just that. It spreads goodness, and goodness becomes more of the same. So it is with a absolute full up heart that I feel the thanksgiving for this prayer. And as such, I just release it unto that activity of God where it is already done. And so it is. My name is Tamira Hume, and I am a licensed prayer practitioner at the Center. And I'd like to invite you to join me in the reading for today from the Beyond 2020 Spiritual Vision Book of Affirmations. The perfect Creator is living itself in me, as me, and through me. Its perfection is revealed in and as my life. It is my soul and my substance. Thank you.
On the road of experience, trying to find my own way. Sometimes I wish that I could fly away. When I think that I'm moving, suddenly things stand still. I'm afraid 'cause I think they always will. And I'm looking for space and to find out who I am. And I'm looking to know and understand. It's a sweet, sweet dream. Sometimes I'm almost there, and sometimes I fly like an eagle, and sometimes I'm deep in despair. All alone in the universe, sometimes that's how it feels. I get lost in the madness and the screams. Then I look in the center, and suddenly everything's clear. I find myself in the sunshine and my dreams, and I'm looking for space and to find out who I am, and I'm looking to know and understand. It's a sweet, sweet dream. Sometimes I'm almost there, sometimes I fly like an eagle, and sometimes I'm deep in despair. On the road of experience, join in the living day. If there's an answer, it's just that it's just this way. When you're looking for space and to find out who you are, when you're looking to try and reach the stars, it's a sweet, sweet dream. Sometimes I'm almost there, sometimes I fly like an eagle, and sometimes I'm deep in despair. Sometimes I fly like an eagle, like an eagle, I go flying high.
Hello, I'm Edward Fillion, and this
is Kevin Fillion.
And we are reclaiming some time to think out in nature, and we have with us our Cooper back there. He's more interested in exploring the being outside in the wilds, which actually we are too. And Kevin and I are reading this month's recommended book. And before we talk about it, did you know that you can go onto our Stepping Stones bookstore website and order the book of the month, which is Turning to One Another, Simple Conversations to Restore Hope to the Future by Margaret Wheatley. And we are reclaiming time to think because that is the chapter recommended for this week. Now, we've both read it, and I think the part that struck you the most were the questions.
Yeah.
Do you remember what they were?
Well, the questions were really centered around taking time and taking stock of what's most important. I think one of the questions was, over the past year or so, have the relationships that have been most important to me, have they been strengthened or deteriorated?
And have you found yourself being less satisfied at work,
right.
For example, like that? Now, the context for these questions is that in our fast-moving pace, we don't take time to do the one thing that, well, not the one thing, but one of the things that human beings are capable of doing, and that is thinking. And how when we move at a really fast pace and respond to the urgencies of life, we separate ourselves from one of the spiritual mechanisms we have from which we can solve our life's issues. And you asked a question about why after all the wise people in the world, what did you ask?
So, for many of us that have been involved in the center, we've had years and decades of Edward and other spiritual masters teaching us the value of carving out some time to either sit in spiritual practice or just sit and think. The question I was asking was, after decades of hearing the same message, why are there times in my life that I still choose not to do it? And the best conclusion I could come to was that sometimes I'm scared of my own thoughts. Sometimes I'm scared of the conclusions that I might reach, and then thus the changes that I have to make. And I know that anytime we make changes, or I make changes, there's always some level of grief and loss attached to the way that things were, giving way to the way that things ought to be.
And
going
Margaret
forward.
Wheatley says the way things are, the status quo is also threatened when we pause to think. So, I mean, I really got to think about social media and how in certain social media companies I've heard that they have departments to disrupt us, to keep us distracted, so that our mind flits back and forth to this and that, so we can't think and we can't even risk discovering what we think or encounter the grief of losing what is or what has been by moving on.
But change doesn't always have to be hard. That's something that Edward was talking about, that
I mean, it turns out it is, and it can be hard and difficult, but I want to be an affirmative religious science. I want to say it doesn't always have to be like that. Can't change be amazing?
it can be. And sometimes even really positive changes, like instituting a new habit, like taking time to think, can be scary. I mean, what if I make this commitment to myself and then I can't keep it? Like sometimes that's been my primary fear of starting a new habit or a new spiritual practice, is that I won't let anyone else down, but I'll let myself down.
Right, and it's the similar process to starting a new diet or going to the gym. Of course, in the beginning, it's prone to be challenging. You might want to give up soon, or the day after your first difficult ride on a bicycle can be very painful. And so there are all of these things to overcome and keep on going with. And also there's that, what you mentioned, being afraid of my own thinking. Like if I sit down, what will I meet there in the quiet? I think sometimes our thinking is almost like an independent entity that has been, like a kid that has been neglected or kept quiet or shut away for so long that when we finally do take time to sit down and think, it acts out. It's like, here's all the things I wanted to say,
Right.
and that can be terrifying, right? And to give that time to run its course, yeah?
Yeah.
And you know, Margaret Wheatley says in the book, you and I have to reclaim time. Nobody's going to create it for you. Nobody's going to give it to you. And I have to reclaim time to think. You want to hold on to the selfie stick? Because I want to read a Rumi poem that she includes in the book. I think it's, it's going to be amazing. Here it is. Oh, and by the way, not only is this book filled up with amazing information, it's beautifully designed, gorgeous to look at. It's something you could keep on your coffee table and just pick up anywhere and read and enjoy. Oh, that's good too. That was a different poem. I got distracted for a moment. Here's the Rumi poem. Sit down and be quiet. You are drunk. And this is the edge of the roof. Right? So, wow, that's sort of a description of life, or certainly our society right now with everything we're dealing with. We're drunk. This is the edge of the roof. In other words, this is a call to safety and sanity. Sit down and think.
You know, when I was, that line, you're drunk, I immediately thought of maybe we're drunk with race consciousness.
The human race consciousness,
Right,
yeah.
right,
Because it's intoxicating.
right,
And it's governed by the law of averages.
right.
And You know what that is, the group consciousness, the human race consciousness? It is the sum total of all of our societal beliefs. And you and I are taught in Science of Mind that we do not have to be subject to that average thought, and yet it is intoxicating. You can get, I like that, drunk with it.
Yeah.
And give me an example of being drunk with human race consciousness.
Well, for me, the striving at work that comes from like living in capitalism and like kind of sacrificing some of my humanity to produce that drunkenness with race consciousness is actually probably the primary block for me reclaiming my time to get quiet and think.
To know who you are. And every time
Right.
Kevin says race consciousness, that's a term Ernest Holmes used in our Science of Mind textbook. I always amend it now to human race consciousness to indicate that it's not what race you are, it's
Right.
all of the races from time to time, from previous generation, the combined thought of all of us. And one of the ways it shows up, you're talking about commercialism, capitalism, I call it the herd mentality. So a great question is, where am I going along with the herd?
Yeah.
And have I abdicated my own ability to think for myself and make my own choices? Here are those questions that Kevin was, and we were trying to remember. Here
Thanks,
we
babe.
are. Yeah, there we go. To see whether you're losing anything of value to yourself, here are some questions to ask yourself. Are my relationships with those I love improving or deteriorating? Is my curiosity about the world increasing or decreasing? Do I feel more or less energy for my work than a few years ago? Are those things which anger me different than a few years ago? Which of my behaviors do I value? Which do I dislike? Generally, am I feeling more peaceful or more stressed? In other words, it's an opportunity to do a self-inventory, to check in, which is, again, carving out time to think. I love in this chapter that she reminds us, and this is something that's really important in our culture, thinking is not inaction. You know that expression? Don't just sit there, do something. Here's what I'm getting from Margaret Wheatley. Don't just do something, sit there and be with yourself and think. Margaret Wheatley writes, as a species, we humans possess some unique capacities. We can stand apart from what is going on, think about it, question it, imagine it being different. We are also curious. We want to know why. We figure out how. We think about what's past. We dream forward to the future. We create what we want rather than just accept what is. So far, we are the only species that does it.
No one will give it to you. Because thinking is always dangerous to the status quo. Those benefiting from the present system have no interest in new ideas. In fact, thinking is a great threat to them. The moment we start thinking, we'll want to change something. We'll disturb the current situation. We can't expect those who are well served by the current reality to give us time to think. If we want anything to change, we are the ones that are going to have to reclaim time.
Think about it. When has your thinking got you into trouble with new ideas? When has the status quo been disturbed by you sitting and thinking? One of the things about reclaiming time to think is it allows questions to emerge and challenge the status quo. And think about right now, the status quo that is being shaken up across the world and across cultures is the awareness of systemic racism and how dangerous the questions are, or they can be perceived to be. Like if we take time to really sit down and ask such questions as, is there such a thing as systemic racism? to notice my own reactions, my own feelings, because sometimes, I notice when a status quo is being challenged by my questioning, I can become defensive, and I can start to look for the proof why that question shouldn't be allowed.
Yeah. Challenging the status quo right now in our world, our relationship with our global family is so similar to relationships between individuals. I believe that the point of deep, meaningful, intimate relationships, like the one I have with my husband, is that we get so safe and so comfy in it that all of the stuff that doesn't work for us can come up to get healed.
That's not a really good advertisement for close relationships.
But I think we're experiencing the same thing collectively, both in our county, in our state, in our country, and in our global family. So much is coming up to get healed right now. And so it requires a certain level of mindfulness that spiritual practice gives me.
Well, that's true, with the internet and with cell phones, and with more people owning cell phones than toothbrushes across the world, we have a new global intimacy that is allowing for maybe the less attractive side of humanity to be aired, just like in relationships, that in intimacy, the safety is created for the less attractive side of human relationship to be brought to the surface. Not that anything like that ever happens between Kevin and I.
No, not at all. But we do find ways to love the less attractive parts of each other. Just like what will heal this global family is to find ways to love the less attractive parts of ourselves, both individually and collectively.
That's really important right now. The tendency to demonize the parts we don't agree with, the tendency to get stuck in our camp, especially right now in our United States of America, where the nation is divided down the middle. And so we see this teeter-tottering between who's celebrating and who's grieving, and how easy it is to dismiss half of the nation as being whatever words you want to use to describe them. And it was just so 4 years ago at the previous election. But that also happens in conflicts between friends and family members, and the pull towards being right and victorious and winning is part of that status quo mindset, the human race mindset. And to sit with the question, to reclaim time to sit and ask, is it necessarily so? How would I show up in the world if I dropped whatever habit is that you're thinking might be causing you distress at the time? Margaret Wheatley writes, thinking is not inaction. People can think and notice what's going on. We develop ideas that we hope will improve our lives. As soon as we discover something that might work, we act. When the ideas mean something to us, the distance between thinking and acting dissolves. Thinking is the place, Margaret Wheatley writes, where intelligent action begins. We pause long enough to look more carefully at a situation, to see more of its character, to think about why it's happening, to notice how it's affecting us and others. Somebody once asked me, aren't you worried that it'll get worse, that you'll just dwell on it? Of course, some people have to get additional help if they have persistent, regular, negative thoughts that drag them down. On the other hand, my experience is that if we make a date to reclaim some time to think at the same time, at the same place every day. Mine is early in the morning and last thing at night. You make a time to reclaim that time to think. Over time, that reactive mind realizes he really is going to sit here. He really is going to listen.
Right.
And it changes its quality. In fact, the whole system, the whole spiritual, physical system begins to look forward to that time to be still.
And I found that time is easier. It's a practice, right? It's easier in the moments that I'm feeling like myself. And so I practice in those moments. So the reconnection to myself is more available to me in the moments that I forget who I am, or I forget my spiritual nature of myself or whoever or whatever I'm interacting with. That's why I do it.
I think it's time for us to close in prayer. So, Kevin, why don't you give us a spiritual mind treatment?
So allowing the next breath to be a little deeper than the one before. Reconnecting us to this moment. This perfect moment that reminds us that there is simply one. One power, one presence, one energy, one vibration. One seed of divine perfection behind and in front of all things, all life. And just as I know that this energy of the beloved moves in, through, and has its self as my being, I know this is true for my wonderful husband, my beautiful dog, and everyone listening to this prayer, and all life. So from this place, the deep and profound knowing of the interconnectedness of all life, we simply remember. Simply reclaim our time to see our divinity, here and now. Knowing that every moment is pregnant with this possibility of reconnection. So we just open up with greater receptivity than ever experienced before to experiencing our individual and our collective shared divinity. I am so very grateful for the opportunity to remember the truth and remember the spiritual laws that govern this universe. That we know that a change in circumstance always follows a change in consciousness, just like the one experienced here and now in this prayer. So with nothing left to do, nothing left to effort, we simply allow this prayer and this sacred time to be. And so it is.
And so it is. If you're watching us on Facebook, you'll notice that there is a donate button that you can click and safely contribute to your Center for Spiritual Living. You may also notice there is a Thanksgiving fundraiser there. We are doing everything we can to graciously receive contributions to our center during the shelter-in-place time. I don't mind telling you that revenue is down. We don't have events, we don't have a bookstore. People are having Zoom fatigue, even our numbers at services are down. And I know I'm reluctant to say this because I want to make sure nobody thinks I'm coming from a place of lack and limitation. But the reality is, if I don't tell you what is going on, you won't know that there is an opportunity for you to help and contribute. So if you can, please click on the donate button on Facebook, or you can go to our website, cslsr.org, and there is a donation portal right there through PayPal where you can contribute to your Center for Spiritual Living.
Sweet surrender to the luminous love light.
Hello, I'm Jennifer Mann, prayer practitioner emeritus, here to chat with you for a moment from my home to your home, which I love doing. I just feel connected that way. So here's what I do. I like to find out what's going on at the center by going to the website, which is www.cslsr.org. It's rich with information, but I like to look at the Sunday Bulletin. Today's Sunday Bulletin is 6 pages long and has wonderful opportunities and inspiring ways to connect listed there. I advise you to go there. I, today, sneaked over to the events and classes section where I have a sneak peek of the winter schedule that begins in January, right here in my hands. There are some new offerings coming and wonderful opportunities to sign up and connect with like-minded people and learn and inspire. I advise you to go there and check it out. Now, Reverend Tara prints out announcements that she would like to have shared, and so I'm grateful to be able to do that right now. First of all, this coming Wednesday, I'll be going. Beginning at 6 o'clock, Claire Victor is offering a sound bowl meditation. It's virtual, but it's very transformative. It will go from 6 to 6:45 on Zoom. And then our wonderful Thanksgiving Eve virtual service begins at 7 and goes to 7:45 on Zoom. You know, small groups are continuing to meet, and once again, they are all listed on that Sunday Bulletin online. Check it out. Now, tonight, there's an event. It's called Our Sunday Evening Conversation, and this evening, practitioner Elias Owens talks about listening. It's all your heart and mind want. Folks gather for that conversation on Zoom at 7 o'clock p.m. In December, something wonderful is returning. It's called Lunchtime Learning, and it's drawing inspiration from Tara Brach's book, Radical Acceptance. Such an important practice. And that book can be purchased also online from our wonderful Stepping Stones bookstore. So, last and important, confidential prayer is available for you right after this service if you wish. A little 5-minute tune-up if there's anything on your heart or mind you would like to shift or expand. So here's what you do. You sign off after the broadcast here, and then you go to the special link, which is listed at the end of the service, to the little practitioner room, our virtual Grinton Chapel, and prayer practitioners will be there to treat for you for your highest and greatest good. Stay safe, and bye-bye for now.
Won't you please say these words with me? If they are not yet familiar to you, they will be if you stick around long enough. Something wonderful is happening through me right now. It is this thing called life. Life is in my mind, life is in my body, and life is in my affairs. I think it, I feel it, and I accept it. Just the way that it is.
And just the way that it is not.
Thank you, life. Know with me that you are never alone, that Spirit is right where you are, that you have only to look within at any moment to know that you're guided, sustained, and empowered by a presence that expresses itself in this world through you. In deepest gratitude, let us live our lives accordingly, so that in everything that we do and say and think, we honor this presence within. And so it is. See you next week.
I am a light, I am a light, I am a light in this world. I am a light. light. I am a light. I am a light. I am a light in this world. I am a light. I am a light. I am a light in this world. And I shine. And I shine. And I shine so bright. And I shine. And I shine. And I shine so bright. Think of someone you are. You are a light. You are a light. You are a light in this world. You are a light. You are a light. You are a light in this world. And you shine. And you shine. And you shine so bright. And you shine. And you shine. And you shine so bright. We are a light. We are a light. We are a light in this world. We are a light. We are a light. We are a light in this world. And we shine. And we shine. And we shine so bright. And we shine. And we shine. And we shine so bright. We shine. We shine.